Your music would be better if the songs were longer.
I get this type of comment a lot. And to some of you, it might seem like negative or trolling, but it may actually be evidence that we're doing something right. In 2020, there was a study of 160,000 songs on Spotify. The study calculated an average length of song to be 3 minutes and 28 seconds. The average Wetlands tune is 2 minutes, 24 seconds. Wetlands is an average of 1 minute and 6 seconds shorter when compared to the status quo. And it's far shorter than your average doom, sludge, post, whatever kind of material. I grew up with 80s hardcore, Bad Brains, Minor Threat, Black Flag, all that 80s DC and LA hardcore punk stuff. I'm pretty sure all that stuff is what catalyzed my interest in creating really urgent music. Even though I borrow a lot from the doomy, sludgy stuff, the punk urgency is kind of central to everything I do. To me, the music that I make is exactly the length that I want to hear. I generally dislike long-winded, repetitive compositions, so naturally I focus on making the music the way that I want to hear it. I've always assumed that people make the music that they themselves would like to hear, but these days, I'm not so sure. Let me know down below what your motivation is. Do you just want to be part of something that already exists? Or do you want to do your own thing? Do you want to satisfy your own ears? Very curious. Previous to this video, I never thought much about song length, but I'm now realizing that this sort of stuff can open the door to creative opportunities. Opportunities that may even shape our artistic identity. Thinking about my own work surrounding song length and urgency. So number one, I don't actually know anybody who's making this sort of urgent, post-sludge kind of stuff. If you know somebody, let me know down below. But as far as I can tell, it's a unique space. Number two, short songs can influence the artist to critically consider every single creative decision. Trim the fluff. I throw out probably 98% of what I come up with. So yeah. And number three, something like short material can inspire the artist to explore new ways to express an aesthetic or a sentiment. An example of this would be super long phrases with an incredible number of repeats. The kind of atmosphere and the kind of vibe that gets across, how can you actually get that same vibe a different way without those long phrases and super long repeats? The fact that strangers will share their critical opinions about how our art is being made, how my art is being made, is actually an indicator that maybe we're doing our own thing. We're doing something different than they want to hear or they're used to. So it may be evidence that we're developing our own unique voice. I never would have thought that short songs would have been anything to talk about or care about. Now that I really think about it, that preference has had a massive effect on every part of how I compose. I'd love to know what you can see in your own projects that may be very different than the average. Are people quick to let you know that you're doing it all wrong? Maybe you're actually just doing your own thing and it's part of your own unique voice. Very curious to know.
In the next one, we're going to be talking about production. You know, getting motivated to create at all, going through the whole production process from beginning to end, systems that maybe you can use to help you get through it. I'm going to share all of the things that I use for it, maybe even talk about the guitars, all that stuff. So that's it.